Okay, y'all, listen to this. So, a reporter for Nancy Grace walks into a courtroom on assignment and had to be escorted out because she wouldn't apologize. Are you kidding me right now? She had to be escorted out because of Diddy supporters? This is America. This is what's going on right now in our courtrooms. Because you have a different opinion of someone in the courtroom, which Diddy did absolutely awful things. Let's not forget that Diddy supporters demanding an apology. That's what's happening in our time and space right now. If you believe in the freedom of press, if you believe in standing your ground, and if you don't think people in power silence reporters, think again. Just because you don't think the way that they think. All right, let's get right into this. Here's exactly what happened. Let's get into it.
Was a travesty. It was an all-out circus. Everybody, including myself, are running to safety.
I've got a question for you, Tisa Tells, and everyone's going to want to know this. You're in a car right now. You had to leave the courthouse. Why?
I had to leave the courthouse because Diddy's supporters were out of control. The
Running to safety in a courthouse. Diddy's supporters out of control. Can you believe this is happening in our justice system right now?
first time I ran and did my live, of course, I had two armed security guys. Everyone told me, the people in the courthouse was like, make sure you have security. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. It wasn't just me, but I'll tell you what I experienced.
You would think that there would be security at the courthouse already, keeping law and order in our justice system.
Supporters surrounding me, threatening me, saying that they were going to hurt me. It was a serious situation. It got so bad and there was so much chaos and violence that they actually had to lock the courtroom down and force the Diddy supporters across the street. It was something myself, the news media, mainstream media, new media have never seen in their lives. The level, and again, the jurors, I hope to God they know how to sleep at night, because again, I'm sure they did their duty. But when all that chaos was happening, as I was being threatened and ushered out by armed security people, I thought, this is what the jury did. They sent a signal that it is okay to use violence. It's okay to drug people up. It's okay to live a life of debauchery. It's okay.
Like I said, we can't forget what Diddy is charged of, right? Still not that great of a person, if you ask me.
To do whatever you want, because guess what? If you work hard enough and you have enough money and enough delusional fans, and you have ingrained yourself in culture enough, that you can do whatever you want, and 12 of your peers will look the other way. Again, this jury was shocking.
Tisa Tells, when you say that Sean Combs supporters threatened you, what were they saying?
They were saying, you effing B, we're going to kill you, you effing B. You work for, apparently I work for the feds. You're a plant. You made this all up because of you. Again, they're not too smart. Because of you, that's how this case got started. We're going to treat you worse than we treated Cassie. Cassie, what we do to you is going to be nothing that they had on Cassie. They
threatening this reporter's life because she's there on assignment doing what she's supposed to do, just like any other reporter. Threatening her life.
Were screaming, they were yelling. Some people were saying, apologize to Diddy, apologize to Diddy. Of course, thank goodness we had Lenny and we had Jimmy, two of the best armed guards out there. So the one thing is they started foaming like wild dogs because they realized that I was not an unprotected woman. And they realized they could not just do what they felt like. And they started foaming like wild dogs, screaming, their voices cracking in anger that they viscerally
Wow.
wanted to rip me apart. This is why their hero had been
Unbelievable.
exonerated. Even in the best of times, these people that support him, there's something wrong with it. And I gotta tell you, Nancy, it wasn't just me. It was not just me. It was anybody that didn't have a pro Diddy stance from the beginning. That's who suffered.
I mean,
So
we've got to remember that, all of the things Diddy has still been charged for. I mean, obviously he wasn't charged for the biggest things there, but still the atrocious things that we have seen and heard with our own eyes and ears still is really bad, really bad. I'm really sorry this happened to the reporter just doing her case. It's very wrong. My heart goes out to her and any of the reporters. And what is wrong with people today? It's baffling to me that this is still happening in the United States of America. It seems like somebody has a difference of opinion and you don't agree with it. It's disrespect instantly, calling, cursing people, threatening their lives. Come on, we can do and should do much better than this, to say the very least. I think also because this is happening to a smaller independent news reporter, I think this is probably why it's not getting as much attention as it deserves. That's my opinion. So the reporter that was just reporting and went through that terrible experience, her name is Tisa. And in my opinion, we need more reporters like Tisa who is willing to go into the lion's den, ask the tough questions, report on things that are uncomfortable, but definitely necessary. You don't get to shut down the media just because you're uncomfortable with the truth. And before anyone says, let me just say, maybe she was rude, let me just stop you right there. Tisa is never, ever rude. I have watched her reporting. She is always professional. Tisa is never loud. She's very clear. She never shouts and she asserts. In a world where women have to whisper in front of a bunch of powerful men, you can bet Tisa always shows up with a microphone and not a muzzle, because that's what real reporters do. It wasn't some sort of meltdown or anything like that. So the question is, why are the Diddy supporters acting like this? I mean, I understand there's frustration, but there's frustration for a lot of people on the other side as well. There's frustration all around. So let me just say in closing, Tisa, if you see this, we got you, girl. We support you. Keep up your professionalism and ask the hard questions. Don't stop. If they don't give you a seat to the table, then bring a folding chair. Because it's really about order in our justice system, about having some respect and humanity for our peers, for those we agree with and those we don't. She was just doing her job and she did an excellent job in the lion's den. Good job, Tisa. If you scroll past this and move on to the next distraction, then we're saying it's okay for reporters to be shut down when power gets uncomfortable.